What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, Mikey fucking Pipes. And Mikey fucking Pipes is Mikey fucking pissed this morning. Monday, June, day after Father's Day. What is it? What is it? I have no idea. 17th. I was gonna say 18th. Mikey fucking Pipes is fucking pissed. So cover your young one's ears. So, yesterday, I went on a service call for customers' complaint of the master bedroom suite not cooling. Right after we did maintenance on 8 central air systems in this customer's home on Friday. I had dispatched Anderson, our new HVAC technician, out to the job. And I specifically told him, just make sure I don't get a phone call Friday night, Saturday, whenever it is, from the homeowner that the air conditioning is not working. Because I'm not going to be a happy camper. And sure enough, what fucking happened is that I get an email from the homeowner who's, Sabbath observant. So, after the Sabbath, I get an email from them, from the wife, who entrusted Pipe Doctor to take care of the mechanical systems in their home. Mike, you guys were here Friday. The air conditioning in my master bedroom is not going below 72 degrees. I'm like, fuck! So, I go to the customer's home on Sunday as my second service call of the day. The first call was a very, very good service call. It was a very, very good service call. We had an electrical fire in the outdoor condensing unit, and it took everything with it except the compressor and the blowers, the motors, everything. Even the Nest thermostat base took that too with it. Anyway, I go to the customer's house. One of 8 systems is not cooling, and it's a system that we installed in 2017. And first they had another issue with no hot water. It was an error E110, but from a system with. Can you drive? Fuckface. Look at this guy. The guy's got his fucking hazards on, completely out to lunch. You okay? And she's honking at me. Look at this. She's fucking honking at me. Look at this bitch. She's got her hazards on, right? And she's honking at me. Completely oblivious to what the hell's going on in fucking life. Hazards. Hazards. Can you believe this shit? Her fucking hazards are on. Anyway, I go to this train. I think it's a 3-ton system that we installed 2017 Sunday. And this is what I see. This is how I found it. The cover was on, but this is how I found it. Care to explain this? Pretty fucked up if you ask me. All of the wires to the capacitor, the dual capacitor, are not connected. Every single one. So now I'm thinking to myself, well, this can't be real. So I pinch myself. Sure enough, I'm not sleeping, not having a nightmare. I'm awake. I'm like, all right. I check for voltage. There's no power. So I wire up the dual capacitor, and I plug in the disconnect, and nothing happens. I'm thinking, okay, thermal overload on the fan and the compressor? Okay, it's possible, right? Because I saw the contactor was pulled in. And I pull up my voltmeter, and I check for voltage at the disconnect, and there is no power there. So I find the circuit breaker panel. By the way, this home has 800 amps of power coming into it. 800 amps of power coming into this home. Who the fuck needs 800 amps of power? Are you serious? We're not in a skyscraper. 800 amps of power. I kid you the fuck not. So I see that there's a breaker tripped, and it's a 40 amp. So into the trip position, I turn it off, turn it back on, and cross my fingers that this is not off for some other reason, right? And I go outside, and sure enough, there's power there now to my disconnect. I was like, oh, okay, thank God, dodged the bullet, right? And then I plug in the disconnect plug, and it goes zap. And I'm like, all right, maybe I wired something wrong. Even though I filed the schematic, and I could read schematic for the most part. You know, I'm not a I couldn't draw a schematic if my life depended on it. Don't ask me to draw a... what the hell is those drawings for? Isometric drawing for plumbing in the state of Florida. Don't ask me to do that. I just barely passed that exam, by the way. But don't ask me to draw a schematic. Not happening. But I can read it for the most part. And, you know, I spent 20 minutes. I really, very diligently check everything. I check for shorts to ground, and there are none. All right? And then I decide, okay, let me check between L1 and L2, and I have continuity there, or a kind of continuity. I'm like, something's not, I don't know. I'm like, it's been a long winter. Do I need to have continuity there? But I ohm out my compressor terminals, and I have 2.1, 1.5-ish, and a total, and then a 3.5. So I was like, oh, okay, this is probably good. Because they have to equal each other out. I know that much. I'm not like the super technician HVAC guru. I'm far from that. Keeping it real. I don't know fucking everything. But what I do know is that wires need to be on top of a dual capacitor, in order for the fan motor and the compressor to run. I do know that, right? I double check everything. I'm like, no, it's okay. So I was like, you know what? Definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? So I reset the breaker, plug it back in, and sure enough, the same thing again. I'm like, okay. This is not working out too well for me. Right? So I get a hard start out from the truck. I get the small one out first, the Subco, right? Just 2 wires, and that had a little change from the compressor. I heard something. And I was like, okay, maybe it's not big enough. So I get the compressor saver in that 3-2-1 jump off with the little relay box, that doesn't work either. So this morning, patiently waiting for Anderson to come in. 7:32, he arrives. Ask him how his weekend was. He hands me in the new Cal gun. Actually, no, yeah, the new Cal gun, foam gun. And he goes, yeah, we didn't use this much on Friday. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I spent so much time rinsing these things out. And I told him, and I showed him, when we use the new Bright, all right, in our foam dispenser, we fill it with water, we rinse it, and then we completely use all the water in the canister to flush out the nozzle and the thingy. Not the thingy, but the nozzle, the canister. And I said, throw it in the fucking garbage. Not gonna go buy another for $100. And I had a little smile. So I was like, I'm not laughing. Like, it's $100 now, go throw it in the garbage. And then I asked them, anything out of the ordinary, or anything that you forgot to mention to me, the customer, or on the invoice on Friday's service call. And he's thinking, I was like, listen, it's not a trick question, right? It's not a trick question. Is there anything that you forgot that you need to tell me about? Now's the time to tell me. And he's thinking, I was like, no. I was like, okay, well, let's go to the videotape. So I pull up the video, and I play it on the schedule display, AirPlay it. And I was like, any care for any explanations? And he goes, nope. I don't know. He goes, I just don't know. I was like, okay. I was like, well, because when I was there yesterday morning, on Father's Day morning, right, after they contacted me Saturday night saying that the master bedroom was not cooling at 72 degrees in there, and I remember the conversation I had with you on Friday. I was like, listen, whatever you do not make sure I don't get a phone call or they reach out to me Friday night, Saturday, whatever, that the air conditioning's not working because I'm not going to be a happy camper. I was like, you remember me saying that? He goes, yes. I was like, okay, good. At least we're on the same page. So, and I go there and I see this and I'm thinking a couple things. Maybe, just maybe, right? They had someone come in after we were there and before I was there on Sunday and who verified that the compressor, that took all the wires off and then decided they're going to call pipe doctor back. It's a possibility. Unlikely, but it's a possibility. I was like, or, I don't know why you were rushing through it. I said, you had 8 systems. I said, listen, we're basically going to focus on the outdoor units. You got to be done by 12 o'clock. Let's not spend all day here. I was like, so maybe you were rushing, but, it doesn't matter if there's 1 system or 8 systems here. And like, if you forgot to do a vital step like this, it's a very expensive mistake. Like, my compressor's dead. And I was like, I can't afford, $2,000-$3,000 mistakes because this is obviously our mistake. It worked before. We're assuming it worked before. And I don't like to assume anything because when you assume something, you make an ass out of me and you. But I was like, I don't like to assume anything, but, everything was working fine before we were there. Right? The only thing I'm thinking is that he forgot to put those wires back on there. The power was applied. The contactor, was closed. Power was applied to condenser, fan motor, and compressor. Oh, fuck, I just missed the block. I need to go down. Fuck. And it kept running until it didn't run anymore. And then you would think that the compressor would go out on thermal overload. But whatever. So Anderson's there right now, and I'm at my first service call of the day. Thanks for listening to me rant and rave, and there'll be a follow-up video on the Mikey Pipes Pipe Doctor channel for New York, and we'll see what the fucking outcome is and what this is going to cost me. You know what? If it could be a blessing. This could be, very valuable lesson learned for Anderson, where he never makes this fucking mistake again, right? And becomes a very successful, HVAC technician for Pipe Doctor, or he quits, or I fire him. We'll find out. Back at the scene of the crime. 1:25. Day after Father's Day. It was easier and less aggravation on the homeowner to just replace the whole fucking AC unit outside. Literally $1,000 plus tax plus freight to have one in the day after tomorrow, which will be in the middle of a heat wave because it's going to be 90 plus degrees tomorrow, starting tomorrow. Or just get a brand new Rheem 3-ton R410A outdoor condenser for another $1,000 more. And I know it sounds stupid, like Mikey Pipes, conserve, don't spend the money, why'd you downgrade the efficiency? We're not using it for a 2-stage, the old train. It's very upsetting. But I hope that Anderson learns a valuable lesson here. Not to fuck up like this again. 218. Just typed up the invoice message in House Call Pro. Let's review. Compressor is dead for Master Suite HVAC Zone. Warranty was 5 years from Train. Supplied and installed new Rheem. Look at that, I got a 5-star review. New Rheem Root 3-ton R410A outdoor condenser with new filter dryer. Charged with virgin R410A refrigerant. While extremely unlikely, there is a possibility that the compressor was damaged during the PM service call on Friday. There isn't any charge for the diagnosis or replacement of the outdoor unit. Pretty much sums it up. Don't you agree, Anderson? You agree? It's a yes or no answer. It's like, are you pregnant? Well, are you, is that a good assessment? You want me to write that technician failed to reattach all the wires to the condenser fan motor and the compressor and left the unit applied with power, and then for some unknown reason the compressor died?
Well, of course not. That's not something.
Did you learn your lesson here?
Of course. This is type. You know, like you can have pressure, but it's like always double check and make sure do 1 unit per unit. It doesn't matter how long it's gonna take. It could be cheaper than this mistake.
Yes.
So,
Okay, Anderson. Hope you learned your lesson. It was a very expensive one for the pipe doctor to swallow.
I know.
So.